Hello everybody, how you doing today? Superfiend here. Welcome back to Whacky World. It is Planet Coaster. This is the stuff that we did last time. Now, I have not been able to really dive in and do any Planet Coaster stuff between the last video and this one. I'm not going to spend all the time on it. I keep having issues where my PC crashes and it's like it powers down, everything turns off, but there's still power on the motherboard and then it won't turn back on. And like sometimes it takes like 20 minutes, sometimes it takes 8 hours, sometimes it's overnight and then it'll eventually turn back on again. I don't know what the deal is. I'm fortunate enough that it's really my wife's computer, but we call it our 4-year-old's computer. That our 4-year-old's computer has some of the same components as mine. It's got the same processor, it's got the same motherboard. So I spent pretty much all day yesterday swapping components, and now both PC like swapping motherboards because I think it's the motherboard, but I'm not sure. So, anyways, this is my first attempt at doing anything gaming-wise with it since I got it back up, and so, well, if I make it through this, I'll put the video up and you'll know. But I've been slowed down a little bit the past like week and a half because I'll sit down, I'll try to record something, and then it will like crash, and it does it with some games, not with others. It happens more with Planet Coaster, so like I've been playing a little bit more Frostpunk. I finished my Frostpunk stuff, and then like I recorded 2 Total War episodes because it doesn't crash during that. And then I get done with all that and I go to start working on something Planet Coaster and I'm recording and then it just crashes and it's down for like 16 hours. So I'm hoping that's behind me and then I can like get back on track with what I'm trying to do Planet Coaster wise. So anyways, what are we going to do today? Sorry for rambling. I just want to share. I want to let you guys know, a little bit of the back end struggles, but nobody really wants to hear like someone, piss and moan about their struggles, right? So here we go. What are we going to do today? Well, first, every time I fire up Whacky World, I get this little challenge here, and then I close it and I don't look. But look at this. We've achieved a park rating bonus of 4,100. We get $2,000. We can put that right on top of the 1.4 million that we have. We'll set it in there. It'll come up with some new arbitrary challenge for us to fulfill. And kind of at the last tail end of the last video, I was talking about like maybe I wanted to add a water feature in here. And, I really think I want to. I think I want to add a water feature in here. So let's get started on doing that. And the way I envision it is like water will be pouring off the mountain into some sort of like pool down here. And maybe it will kind of flow as like a little river type deal or a little stream. And then go through some sort of like drainage pipe over here. I know, very attractive for Whacky World, a drainage pipe. And then it will pop out, maybe like right over here, just pop out the side there. And that's what I'm thinking we're going to do. I think that would be kind of fun. It might help get rid of some of the scenery count over here, although really not that much because, let's see, if we were to add this, that's 30, 30, 40. So now we're up at like 200, maybe like 240. I mean, even if I did that and I managed to delete all this stuff, it's going to save us, like, I don't know, maybe 300 scenery pieces. And if I just go like that, I mean, that's 8,000. So I don't think it's going to really drop the scenery count that much. But I do think a neat little water feature would be kind of cool to have in here. So let's see if we can do that. I'm going to go ahead and pause it for this because I have noticed that my game is getting a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow. I might have to downgrade my recording settings or something. So one of the first things we want to be able to do is we want to get some of this stuff out of the way, but then we also want to be able to put it back when we're done in case we got to backtrack out of this. So let me show you how you go ahead and you set that up. These little clumps of trees, if you recall, if you were here back in episode like 33 or whatever, these are their own individual buildings, right? I made these before you could group just regular scenery together, so they are buildings. So we're going to go in here. We go over to the scenery. We grab an art shape, and we're going to grab one of them kind of big, but also, well, actually, no, that'll work. So we'll do that, right? Okay. So now, let's do this. I don't know if this path is flat. If this works right, you'll see what I'm doing. Okay. So one of them has just disappeared. The other one is still visible. So now, okay, that's kind of like we know how to put this back where it was. So if I click on this building, I hit X, right? I'm just going to lift straight in the air. I can go as high as I want. Okay. And we just put it up there, and that's going to get it out of our way. And then we come back in here, zoom in. And then now we're going to do this one. And so we're going to edit. Actually, first, before we do that, another thing you could do too is like if you just go up a little bit, you can see like if any surrounding stuff moves. Because sometimes when you like start fiddling with things, you'll accidentally take a scenery piece from one and dump it in another. So anyway, so if you move it up and you like, as long as you don't see like surrounding stuff moving around, then you know that you're like local to this little little group here. So we're gonna hit R. We're gonna go back into scenery. We're gonna do the same exact thing. We're gonna use this one and that one. We'll highlight them both. And again, I don't know if this is exactly flat, but that's pretty good, right? So then we could pop out. Now we have it selected. We could zoom way out again, hit X. And we can just move this way up there. Now, it doesn't matter how high we move it. And going up and down is always safe, no matter if the game gives you those funky axes that don't work right. Going up and down, it'll always put it back in the same place. So we're just going to do this, go through each scenery piece. But I forgot with this one to do like a little check. Okay, see? So nothing else is moving. So we know that all these pieces are pretty much local to that little bit. And so then we edit, and we're going to go to scenery, and we're going to drop like just 2 more of these, okay? Highlight them both, and I'm going to drop it down until the one just disappears. Okay. Now, later on, when we're all done with our water feature, what we may end up doing is we may deciding that the water feature is just not going to work. And if that's the case, we want to be able to put all of these things back. But in order to test the water feature out, we're gonna eat up all the levels of undo. So we'll never be able to undo. Whoops, how'd I end up in here? We will never be able to undo and get it back to where it is. So that's why we do it this way. Just put a piece of scenery down so that we'll be able to get those back to the exact same elevation that they're at. Okay, there we go. Trying to think and talk and do stuff at the same times, and you know, sometimes the old noodle, it's willing, it's just not capable. All right, so let's see here. Come on, there we go. Very good, very good. And let's see, I'll just move it way up there. Okay, now this one. Now, for this one over here, I'm going to just kind of move over this way a little bit more. Is that the same one? Yep. And just very methodically, we'll go ahead and we'll just go through this. This is something that maybe I could have done some of them before I started, but hey, what the hey. Figured I'd let everybody watching, you know, see the whole thing. Okay, zoom way out again. See if we can get that green arrow. There it is. And just lift. Okay, and this one. Okay, still local to that group. Scenery. Okay, and zoom way out. And what about over here? Let's do that one in the back. Okay, nothing else moving. So we're still good. And let's see here. Now, I know that some of these overlap with some of this stuff over there. So that's where it's going to get kind of funny. And we'll have a little bit more of a, like, this is how you can solve problems, right? And maybe that's one of the things that I do enjoy about this game is, like, trying to organize and get everything, like, trying to figure out the process of how I'm going to do things. That maybe appeals to my brain more than the actual, like, decoration and stuff. Because I really like to problem solve and do stuff like that, and like just trying to sort through the various limitations that we have in the tools and things is kind of its own special problem solving process sometimes. And so like coming up with cute little tricks and workarounds to be able to like try out ideas and do things and get them exactly the way you want is always fun. But then like if you can't do it and you have to backpedal and then undo everything that you had, like how are you going to set it up so that you can do that in Planet Coaster? And if it's something small, I would just rely on the undo and stuff. Okay, see, so this one over here shares some scenery with that stuff over there. So we're going to want to be a little bit more careful with that one. This one, though, is all on its own. So we're going to go ahead and edit. And then we'll get into this more exciting bit just right over here. It's going to give us a problem to solve. Yay! How exciting. Yeah, okay, maybe if I get a little closer. Yep. Right about there. Now, I don't need to get these like perfectly exact, but I'm trying to be fairly accurate. Simply because like I spent a lot of time once upon a time putting all these things in, and if I have to go back and undo this work, I want to make sure I can kind of get them back to where they were. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna edit, and we're gonna add the 2 scenery blocks like I've been doing. All right. Come on now. There we go. And then so right here. Okay, so now we need the back out, and we need to find a bush in here that we can click on and like select everything. So if I hit escape, okay, so I can click on this bush real easily. And then what I want to add it to is I want to add it to all this stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that. That selects all that stuff. We're going to hit R for edit. We're going to drag like this. Okay, and then we're going to split from the building. That remains selected, but then when I press I to open up the select tool down here, it gets deselected. But then we'll select both of those things, and we'll hit the little tree. And now all that stuff is now part of this building, right? And we can see that these trees are not part of that building. And so what I want to do, they're part of a building over here. I can't imagine that that's really what I want. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hit R. And I'm going to do that. It got only the 2 trees. We can split them off. We can press I. We can click on one tree and the other tree. That adds it to all that. Very good. Okay. And then the other thing we want to see is what else is all of this attached to. Okay, see, so it's attached to all this stuff down here. And I don't really think I want that. I don't think I want it attached to all that. So how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And what all is this attached to? This little guy. Okay, so I can click on that. I can click on that rock. And I can click on that bush. And I can click on that bush. And then I can click on that tree. And that gets it all back up over in there. So I think what we're going to do. Oh, and then is there anything like in the back here that gets selected? It doesn't look like it. If we hit X and just move the whole thing up and down, what we can look for is anything back here. Nope. So we hit escape. Okay, here's how we're going to do it. We click on this rock. We hit R. We're going to go straight down through here and then go that way. That gets all that stuff. We're going to split it off. We're going to hit R again. We're going to get in closer. Select all of that stuff. We're going to split that stuff off. We're going to hit I. We're going to click on that. And then we're going to click on that bush. And then we're going to do that. And so what we did is this is now its own little grouping. But I don't think it's a building. Yeah, it's not a building because we can rotate it. So it doesn't have a building piece. And but then all this other stuff is still its own separate thing. And while we're at it, you know, maybe we want to take all this off and take this tree off and just add it to the stuff that's like in the back there. I don't know. I'll worry about that later. That's not really pertinent for this. Okay, so going back to this right here. So those are the 2 little circles that we put down. So now we can hit X. Nothing in the middle is moving. That was our primary goal, was to get this to be its own piece and not be part of all that other stuff. Okay. And then we're going to move this. We're going to lift this up into the air. I almost forgot to put our little markers. So we're going to edit, go into the scenery. And we've been using these ones, so we'll go one there, one there. Get way in close. Drop them slightly. Okay, we can see the path here is not perfectly flat. So what we're going to do is we're going to lower it until the lower one becomes just completely covered. Okay. And then we zoom back out. And we're going to lift all of that up too. Okay. And you're maybe wondering, why did I go and lift that one up? Because I was thinking about this. It might be cool. I don't know. We could always like redo the terraforming in here and put the terrain back. But I was thinking it might be cool to lower it and make it flat. And then put like have the water look as if it's going under the walkway right here and like fill up a little pool, and we could have some little lily pads and some other stuff in here. But I don't know. I don't know yet. It depends on how well this whole water feature is going to work. And also because occasionally the game crashes, we're going to go in here and we're going to select Whacky World and we're going to save. Ta-da! All right. So now the other thing I want to know, there's still some more brush over here that we need to move. I think we need to move some of this. So, and how much is all that? Okay, it's mostly just trees and stuff. Okay, we need to do one more big movement of foliage. Come on. There we go. I think that could have been a little bit better. Come on. Oh my gosh. Come on. What is the deal? Oh my gosh. There. That was better. That was better. What is going on with my computer? My computer's only at 50% load. And it feels so sluggish. It's not even getting hot. My temps right now are all, like nothing's higher than 45 degrees Celsius. So like my computer is nice and cool. Why is it like so sluggish? Something's not right. Something's not right. Oh, you know what? I disabled G-Sync a while ago. That's probably what it is. Okay, so I'm going to do one more video without the G-Sync, and then I'm going to go in and turn G-Sync on. It might just be a thing with my monitor. The recording may be fine. Anyways, I should quit worrying about it. All right, so now the other thing I want to know here is an interesting question, maybe, is the terrain here the same height as the terrain over there? Are they the same height? And so one of the ways we can answer this question is we'll put down a piece of scenery, and we'll just go with one of the flat. I don't know why triangle means flat to frontier. For me, I always think this is flat, and then this is like, I don't know, like pyramids, but whatever. So we're gonna go ahead. Okay, we'll pick one about like that. Okay, and then we're just gonna like stagger these a little bit, right? Like little stairs. Okay. And now watch this. Oh yes. What? They're not all part of a building. All right, there. Now the scenery is part of a group. Wonderful. Let's edit the group. Let's Control X. That's a little bit better. That's almost like exactly the direction I wanted to move them. That does not happen that often. Okay. And so what we can see by doing that, right? What we have ascertained here is since this piece is not sinking into the ground, that the terrain is pretty much the same height on this side as it is over there. And so I have to think about that for a sec, because I kind of wanted to have water falling off of here into something a little bit higher, and I kind of wanted it to seem as if it was going to flow downhill. But that also creates a special problem. Let's go demonstrate the special problem over here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna lift up, right? That was a little bit more than I wanted to. Okay, but let's say you have something like that, and then like you go down a little bit and you have something like that. Okay, and you do this, and then like you do it again. Okay, so you pick a spot like right there. Okay, so we got these layers of terrain, right? And then over here we need to kind of push it down a little bit, and then we need to flatten to foundation. Well, there's a problem with the way water works in this game. No, that was too much. I don't know if these are big enough to actually like put water in them, but I'm gonna try. I'll see if it'll let us. And the problem with the water in Planet Coaster is it doesn't actually know how to flow down a hill. It only knows how to be a pool or a puddle. Doesn't really matter how big or how small the puddle is, that's all it knows how to do. Yeah, see, so like, no, that one didn't work. Okay, so I did a terrible demonstration. It didn't work. Let's erase it. Let's forget it ever happened. There you go, that looks better. What I was trying to show is that all we could do is basically dig holes and fill them with water. We can't actually make it flow downhill. So let's start kind of with the easy bit. And so let's, oh boy, we got to be kind of gradual too. I don't want to do like too much. Sampled. Okay, so let's like come in here. And let's just see if we can figure out like how do we have to dig this out so that we can just fill it with some water right here where it is right now. Okay. Let's see if we can fill this with water. Anything? No? 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 All right, so we'll keep going. We'll make it a little bit stronger. And then we'll okay. What about this? Can we fill that with water? Nah, no, why wouldn't we be able to fill anything with water? Come on. Must be deeper. See, but what I wanted was just like a little stream bed. Okay. So now we got that. Rough water? No. Standing water? I don't know if I really like the way that water looks. Let's see, come on here. That's like the lagoon water. Nah, that's too much. Dirty water. Nah, that just looks too hideous. Whacky World would have filtered water displays because it's a big budget park, see? All right, so we got that. Now, let's see if we can... let's try chiseling away a little bit here, but let's go small. Yeah, okay, that's not doing anything. What about over here? We get like anything that sort of resembles more of a gradual coast. Okay, and then let's bring it into the back. Let's go 6. Okay, and we're gonna go behind the little statue guy. We could pretty much go right up against the edge of this thing. I could always bring it out a little bit if we need to. And then over here. Okay, and then now the monorail goes over it. And then we would want to bring it in here, like a little bit, I think. I could always adjust these monorail supports and like move them a little bit. Okay. And are we able to get it like over to here at all? What happens if I just like... Okay, okay. Let's just push straight down. I don't know about this. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, we can always come back in and fiddle with stuff later. We can't load an old save though, because I butchered it. Let's tunnel through. Let's go under the path. Good chance this may not work. Okay, yeah, there's our lovely stuff under there. Come on. Okay, I imagine we're through, right? Okay, there we go. And there it is, the water. I am in the water. Now, did I manage to get water on one side but not the other? I did! Look at that. I am so good at this game. Oh, joy. Now, can I put water in this side? It will let me put water in this side. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Now, one thing I don't like, I definitely don't like, is the fact that this is not like a little bridge that they're walking over. I would definitely want to change that. I don't know how difficult it will be because... okay, see, like I could delete this little bit right there. I could delete this little bit right here. Basically, this needs to become like a floating path, and I would need to cut a hole through here. Ooh, I don't know if I want to mess with that yet. Well, okay, we're going to save that part of it till later. But so now we got this little water feature right here. And the reason why I want to do that is because then I could also have water spilling off of here down into this little bit. And that would also help to give the impression that this whole area is being fed from more than one source. So we'd have water falling from here, water falling from there. I could even reroute the monorail a little bit and cut it a little bit closer to this building and then put the water like over here as if it's spilling and then the monorail comes out from behind it. But the farthest I could maybe carry that waterfall out is like, I don't know, maybe out to about to here because I do not want to block the scenery right there. I don't want to block that, right? So I don't know. We'll see. And then I also have like a little bit of a thought about like maybe we could build a little walkway out here and let the people stand. But I don't know. I don't think I'm going to want to do that because it's awfully cramped. We don't have a whole lot of space to work with this. And I'm going to leave this right here for now because I'm still anticipating building a building roughly this size in that spot. So I don't want to lose that. I want to keep it there. Over here. Okay, so over here. What do I want to do? Terrain. We need to do a little bit in here. And I feel like we need to pull it out a little bit. Okay. So it's not so steep. We're going to go ahead, we're going to do that. Okay, and then the other thing you could do too, which is also kind of nice, is so like if I take this and I just make it 2M and kind of strong and then go like this, it gets it the same elevation as the path, right? It makes the terrain the same elevation as the path. Well then, if you drop down in here and you just pick a spot, and then just like right here, you just go like this. Okay. Now it's going to make all of that terrain roughly the same height. And you come over and like pick a spot here and do it again. Okay. And then we'll do it kind of along here. And then what you do is you can pick something like right at the water's edge. Oh, that was bad. Okay, like right about there. Bring it out a little bit. And then we'll pick something like right, maybe a little bit deeper, but bring it out. And then we'll go up again and kind of bring this one out just a little bit more. And that's going to create like more of a gradual transition into the water. And then when you make it a little bit bigger and you smooth it, that's too much smoothing. Let's stick with 4M, I suppose. And that can kind of get you a little bit more of a more gentle slope. And this one is still very steep, but it's a little bit smoother. I didn't bring this out really far enough. It's part of what the issue is. Let's pull this out and get this stuff under here. Make it all come together. Okay. And then let's try doing some of that, like I don't know, maybe right here. So like what you could do is you say flatten the foundation and you pick a spot. Let's just try 1M. Okay, and then as we bring it in, it's going to cut it all away. Okay, but then now we pick a new spot and we cut that stuff away at that height and we flatten it out at that height. Yeah, this one's working better. Okay, but that's making it all the same height up on top of this. And then we have like the same elevation down here below. And then you could even like pick one more kind of in between. And so you get that. Now when you go in here and you say smooth, and you do like 3M and maybe 10%, and you go, what is going on with this one? Why is it like just dropping straight down? That is not right. It's totally weird. What is it doing? What the heck? My Planet Coaster is acting funny. Put the textures back on it, you weirdo. Okay, but see, now we have like a much more gradual transition down into the water. And if you were to continue this process down under here, we would get a little bit more of a little flat area, which could, end up looking like a stream bed or something if we can do it. Let's try. Let's see if we can do it. But we need a small brush and relatively. Okay, so this is how deep we want it under here, right? So let's see if we can just do this. Make it a little bit bigger. See, the problem with making it bigger is it cuts into there a lot. So the other thing you could do is you could pull up in the center until it's roughly as tall. That just poked up the top. And so now we could just like pick like that. There we go. We got them nice and joined up together. And we'll go across to the other side. And then we'll drop under here. And we want to pull these two together. Okay, let's get this. And let's lift up some more. And then let's pick a spot right about there and flatten. Okay, just be real careful as we encroach on that. And then we come over here, we'll pick the smooth. See, and so now we got this like neat little bottom there under the water. And then if we smooth over this way. Okay, and then what I want to do is I kind of want to carry this down more that way. So let's kind of do like this. I don't really like know exactly what I'm after here. I just have a rough idea in my head. And I want to get it kind of close. If I can. Okay, and then like down here, it could be like a little bit more of a pool. So we could kind of do like that. And then probably chiseling would be better about here. And I'm just kind of experimenting and fiddling with it. Just to see if I can find, you know, something that I'm happy with. And then maybe a little bit higher right here, but not quite above the water. So we want to select the point right under the water and do that. And then we can kind of head off towards the shoreline over there. And also over here. And then we'll smooth some more. And there. And then we probably want to bring this a little bit like up. So we'll start flattening here until we start to see it meet up with the terrain on the opposite side there, opposite bank. It's not really a complete river, so it feels kind of wrong to call it a bank, but I don't know what else to call it. All right. Okay, so we do like a little something like that, right? And that's kind of neat. And so let's see what we ended up with here if we do that. And the good news is, the neat thing is we can still fill this with like trees and stuff and make it feel kind of jungly and overgrown. It's just right now I think the water is maybe still a little bit too wide. So what we want to do is probably come over here and bring this out some, because we want to have some trees down on this side, right? So I think we need to kind of bring this terrain in a little bit more. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do some more smoothing here. Okay. And some of these bushes may now be floating, but by the time we put the other trees and stuff back, we may never notice that. So I'm not going to worry about it yet. Over here with these, I think we should bring the terrain back out. So we're going to go ahead and pull it out. Okay, so those guys are out there strutting their stuff and doing their thing. And we want to make sure that this one... Oh, these have... Whoa. No. We can get rid of all these like little flowers and the boards and stuff. Doink, 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 doink. These ones don't need it. The other one has it, but it's on a path, so... Okay, then that was roughly like that. I'm not going to stress out over it. We'll go do the same thing over here. Too much. Put this one back. About there. Okay, now we can come back over here and play with the terrain some more. Okay, we just kind of fill this in. We might roughen it up a little bit, but that's like that's kind of decent for right now. And then I feel like these should be rockier. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's roughen it up first. Then we're gonna go high intensity, small size. And just kind of paint around that. Paint down in here a little bit. Paint around there. And then we're going to go ahead and use... That seems awfully big. Okay, 3M. And just going to paint this in right here. So these guys are like on the hard bedrock. About like that. And then we'll go up like over here. And we get a little rocky outcropping over here. Goes down into the water a ways. And just fill this in. But also, like, it doesn't make sense for these to be, like, embedded in the hard rock. So I think we should change the texture a little bit. But first, we're going to do a little bit of smoothing, just right. Just kind of tone that down a little bit. And we'll do right here, too. And then, like, over here. This one's actually overall pretty good. Okay, we'll go back to our rock. We're going to paint some more. Paint right down in here. And we'll just go ahead and paint the whole, like, river bottom. Or a creek bottom. And then now we're going to go ahead and pick... I'm going to try this sand first. I don't know what all it's going to look like. But I'm going to go high intensity because I want it to come out really strong. Is that piece floating? No, it's inside. Okay, so we go like this, right? Okay, and this is going to make it look like this is kind of in like a little sandy bit. Where it's like softer dirt that you could get the cement or the large stones, set them down and bury them into it. Okay, and then we'll do that over here on this side too. And we'll end up seeing what this looks like. A little bit like, right? Come on. Okay. And then we're going to pick the regular sand and do like, I don't know, 20% and just like real quick. Kind of blast it. And we'll do this one over here. Okay, and see that already like looks more believable than them sitting on the hard rock, right? I think so. All of my rocks in this area, first I do this rock texture, and then I do this one, and this is a custom biome. I've mentioned this a lot. I get those from various biomes in the game, but then I go over and I do 10% with the other rock. Okay. So we'll just start kind of like painting this out a little bit. And then what's really nice to do, okay, so this is like a creek bed, right? It's a creek bed. It wouldn't be all grassy like this on the bottom, although some of it would be. But this rock texture right here is really good for stuff like this. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to make the whole thing down here that texture, right? Okay. And we're going to go ahead and make it go like up and over this little hump. Right in there like that. And then we'll go down this way. And where is the water line? Okay, so it's like right through here, basically. And then this is a little tricky. Where's our water? Okay, so this right here is all water. So we're going to make this a little bit sandy. All right, just a little bit. Coming through here. Okay. So now we can see under there. It looks real neat. Yay, cool. Wow, beautiful. And let's see. Over here, like this little bit, you know, there'd be like algae and growth and stuff like that. So what we could do is we could take the grass and we could go down to like 10% and use a small 1M. And we'll just kind of like cut a little path through here, right? And we'll just go like back and forth. And in a couple areas, maybe we'll go up to 20 and just see what it looks like. And then we could go a little bit higher. Okay, I think it needs to be like a little bit more green. So I'm kind of almost thinking, let's see what the 50% looks like. I'm thinking almost the whole thing should be this kind of like 50% is. So we'll go like this. And paint this over the sand where the water's a little bit more shallow. And I just want to kind of get something that starts to look like a creek bed. Maybe a little bit stronger. I don't know that I'll be able to, to be honest. But like, I want it to be like a little bit mossy. There's a little bit of dirt. We'll put some rocks and stuff down here. It'll look really good when we're done. Okay, and then, so now a couple areas will go even like more intense. And just paint some like little trails through here. Go even higher. And let's see. Nah, that's too much. We don't want that. And then let's do a little bit of the grass. Okay, so let's do 10%, but roughly about as big as this. Okay, and so that gets a little bit of the grassy texture down there, but not too much. Maybe I want to back it off just a little bit. Okay, let's try one more time. Okay, so we got a little bit of the leaves, and then we can go much smaller, a little bit more intense. And some of the areas where I have more of the green but less of the rock, just like give it a little splattering of that, and then go like even smaller, more intense, just like right in the center there. Okay, and there's no reason we couldn't have maybe just a little bit of it, like right up here, or down over here. Okay, and so you get this kind of like weird mishmash of the textures down there. And then what we want to do is we want to make it look like the water's moving. We want to make like flowing water. And that's a little bit tricky because in order to do that, we need to use the special effects. And the special effects, you can see them. And so we have to hide them. And so let's save it. In the past few days when I've been working on stuff, this is usually about where my game crashes. It's when I start playing with the particle effects and stuff like that. So let's see here. I want to pop in here, and I just want to get my little 1M grid piece, even though I know we don't need them anymore technically, but I still want to use it. And then go over here to the scenery, and I want to go into the rocks. Those are bushes. We want rocks. What are these? Planters? Ah, that's new with the stuff. Okay, new category. And so I'm going to pause it again. And let's see. That's too big. Okay, so basically, the water is flowing left to right. Okay, it's flowing from this area, like, over to that area. So anywhere where we have this, like, green buildup in a stream, that would most likely be because the water is kind of congregating around like little groups of rocks that are in that area. So we'll do this, and we'll add some of these rocks in here. Okay. And we'll just get like a few of them. And kind of come down this way a little bit. And then let's try a different rock. You're too big. We could work with this one. And I want to look for either surfaces of the rock that are kind of flat or somewhat smooth, because the water over time would kind of like smooth them out, right? So kind of come down this way, set it up like right there. So this is an area, okay, where if the rock is poking above the water, okay, it's poking above the water, and the water's flowing, it's going to create some turbulence. And it's also going to create like a little pool where we would have a chance for the vegetation to kind of grow maybe a little bit more. And we'll need to put more rocks, but let's just fart around with some of the special effects. The water-based special effects. Now, this is where you need to have the game running. Okay, so we got the burst fire hydrant. That's a lot of water. I don't know that we need that much. That's a lot. This might be better. The little small fountain. What about the medium fountain? Medium fountain could work. We got a large splash strip. That's not going to do it. We could maybe do this. So, like, if we were to, let's see. Okay, but remember, the trick here is we have to hide these. They can't be seen. All right, so that one is like a little bit visible. Oh, what is it doing on the side over here? Ah, no, it's like spraying out the side. Darn. Yeah, I don't like that one. Don't like it anymore. We got some steam. We got rain, lava steam. Okay, what else we got? Sprinkler. Yeah, it doesn't look right. I've looked at the water jet displays. They're not right at all. That's too much. That's our waterfalls. That's a big splash. Which way are you supposed to turn this thing? All right, well, in any case, that's not the right one. And we got the water spout. You know what? I'm thinking for our little stream here, maybe it's just this little guy right there. Okay. We'll just bring him over. Are you serious? If I put it under, we can't see it. Okay, so I don't know if that's good or bad. What happens when I rotate it? Does it shoots out the side again like the other one? Oh, that's so annoying. What happens if I rotate it this way? Does it like stop doing that? Nah, it doesn't no matter which way you rotate it. Planet Coaster, no! Why you gotta be like this? That one looks like it's just going bonkers. Let's try it. So I'm looking at where the little white line lines up on the rock, and I'm thinking like, okay, so like right there would probably be good. Really? Oh my gosh. Really? Like, look at it. It's like spazzing out. Why is this animation playing so fast? These ones are much more like controlled. Okay, so let's get rid of that one. Let's go back to this one here. Let's see. How are we going to do this? Okay, well, this is not, like, ideal. This is not my first choice. Oh, boy. It is not my first choice. Okay, but we'll kind of, like, do that. And then, you know, it's really hard to see it. I don't really know that we even need to try to hide it in a rock. If we wanted to be, like, perfectionists, we could take a rock here. And, you just do something like that, and then you can't see it as well. But then, of course, it looks like the water's literally coming out of the rock. So, I don't know. Pick your poison. Pick your poison. I think that's my poison right there. We'll just do it like that. And then let's see what happens if we take this one, our fire hydrant, and like, what happens if we turn it on its side? Yeah. Let's see. What can we do here? It's like too strong of a flow. We could maybe use it over there. But I don't think it's going to work over here. What else do we have again? Let me look at these again. I could always take something like this and just like do that. So that it's just visible. Let's see. And then throw some rocks and stuff in there to kind of hide them a little bit. And let's go back to our rocks. Speaking of rocks. Let's just see like kind of what we end up with if we do something. Let's go with this larger guy right here. I would like to have the water feature, you know, running through here. I think we could do it. I don't think it's going to be easy, and I don't think it's going to look exactly the way we're envisioning. Let's see, maybe if we put this more like there. Okay, see, so if we like run the rocks right along the border, it looks like the water is being pushed up against the rock. And that's what's creating the splash. At least that's how I'm going to try to sell it to you. That's my explanation. Okay, so you do something like that. And then somewhere in here, like we need a few like little jet streams or whatever, kind of like indicating the flow is going down that way. So if we go back over to our special effects. Ambience, what's all this? Smoke, smoke burst, colorable smoke. Ah, maybe the steam jet could work. Let's see. A little bit of a lag spike there. That's a big steam jet. That's a medium steam jet. Okay, so the smaller steam jet seems to work. Okay, what about the falling snow? No, that's crap. Nope, the water is not on fire. Mist? No, I'm not gonna do it. Dry ice, falling dry ice. Let's see. Ah, that could do it. That could work. And when you put it under the water, does it like become invisible? Sorta does. What about if we aim it like slightly up? So what does that do? I don't know. I think it's aimed a little bit too high. And is that a one-size-fits-all falling dry ice? Where did I get that? It's the large one. What if I replace it with the medium one? And we just do like that. And then where do we put it? Maybe we put it like right here. Aim it this way a little bit. Let's see. Down, relative axes. I don't know. I don't know. This stuff looks like it's kind of like spazzing out a lot, but at the same time, you know, we kind of got to take what we can get, and I'm at 60 minutes. Holy cow. So I think we're probably going to end this one here. Let me check my rides real fast. Rides and attractions. Attractions and shops. Aging. Everything's aging, so when I come back in the next one, I'll have to remember to do that little thing. Rebranding, that's what it's called. And I'm going to play around with this a little bit. I'm going to see if I can get something that looks kind of good. And then I'll come back in, hopefully in the next one, and show you what that was. But like when I could kind of get it looking okay over here where we have the water as if it kind of looks like it's flowing that way, then I'll maybe like do some stuff over here. I might go ahead and just play with this off camera because this is going to be kind of hard to get a bridge going under here. And I don't know if you guys really want to watch me fiddle around with that. It could be messy. It could like take forever and I may just end up like not accomplishing it. But when we come back in the next one, I'm hoping that like some of those little things will be a little bit more figured out. And then the next episode, we can just kind of glue it together and have this nice little water area. And then we'll bring the trees back down, trim away some of the bushes where it makes sense. And then we'll have this like cool little feature. And then we'll have some water fall in over there and over there. And it'll be this nice, beautiful area that they can walk through. So that's going to be it for this one. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know with comments or thumbs up. Or otherwise, you know, you don't have to. We'll see you next time. You have a good afternoon. Take care.